Today marks a turning point in the history of the Sahel for the first time. All nations are coming together to launch a single, unified currency created by us, controlled by us, for the benefit of our people. This currency is more than money. It is a symbol of sovereignty, strength, and unity. We are breaking free from economic dependency and building a future where Africa stands on its own feet. The era of true independence begins now.
Welcome to Afric Vibe News, your go-to source for bold, authentic African stories. We bring you the truth behind the headlines, straight from the continent's heart. Disclaimer: content shared here is for informational purposes only and not intended as financial, legal, or political advice. Always do your own research.
Today is a historic day for the Sahel region. For too long, our economies have been tied to currencies that don't represent our interests and are controlled by powers that don't even walk our soil. But that's all changed today. As the leaders of the Sahel, we have launched a single currency for our region. This is more than just a symbol. It's a tool of liberation. A future where unity is our power and freedom is our currency. And I want to thank every African leader who has come together to make this day a reality. A currency built by Africans for Africans, free from foreign control, designed to strengthen trade, protect our sovereignty, and empower our people. With this one currency, we will connect our markets, unify our strength, and speak with one economic voice. No longer will our farmers, workers, and businesses be at the mercy of external decisions. This is more than just a dream. It's a commitment to our future, forward together for the dignity of our nations.
Let's zoom in on the Sahel, a vast stretch just below the Sahara, running from the Atlantic to the Red Sea. It's a region of transition, not quite desert, not quite lush home to countries like Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Lately, these nations have made headlines by proposing something bold: a single shared currency. Why? Because for decades they've used the CFA franc, a currency tied to France, their former colonial power. Imagine your finances still controlled by your ex. Awkward, right? This move is about more than money, it's about independence and taking charge of their future. The idea of a shared currency isn't new, but now with shifting politics, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are pushing to make it real. They're done talking, they want action. It's a huge gamble, but for these countries, it's a chance to build something truly their own. The world is watching to see if this bold experiment will pay off. The stakes? Nothing less than the region's economic destiny. Why ditch the CFA franc now? Because it's a relic of colonial times, pegged to the euro, and keeps the Sahel's fate tied to Europe's economy. If Europe stumbles, so do these African nations. Leaders are asking, why should our farmers' incomes depend on Paris? The CFA franc is seen as a symbol of dependency, limiting their freedom to make financial decisions. Creating a new currency is a declaration: we're in charge now. There are practical reasons too. Right now, a big chunk of their reserves sits in the French treasury, not at home. That's money that could be building schools and hospitals in the Sahel. Politically, the new currency cements the alliance of Sahel states, a bloc formed by Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger after recent coups. It's about breaking old ties and forging a new united path. A shared currency isn't just a symbol, it's a tool for real independence. The dream? To control their own economic future, together. It's a bold step, but for these leaders, it's long overdue. The world is watching to see if they can pull it off. So, what's the upside? A single currency could turbocharge trade. No more exchange rates or fees between neighbors. Businesses could grow, jobs could multiply, and economies could finally take off. Investors would see one big market, not three small ones, making the region far more attractive. Beyond economics, a shared currency could foster unity and a sense of common destiny. Think of the euro, it's more than money, it's a symbol of European cooperation. For the Sahel, a new currency could be a daily reminder of shared purpose. Together, these countries would have more bargaining power on the world stage. Alone, they're small players. United, they're a force to be reckoned with. It's economic muscle, and it could change how the world sees the Sahel. But unity isn't just about money. It's about building trust and a shared future. If they succeed, the Sahel could become a model for regional cooperation. The potential is huge, but so are the risks. The next steps will determine if this dream becomes reality. But let's be real, this could go sideways fast. The biggest challenge? Getting three very different economies to move in sync. If one country booms while another struggles, a single currency can make things worse, not better. Shared monetary policy means giving up control. No more printing money or setting your own interest rates. That's a huge sacrifice of sovereignty and requires deep trust. Then there's the practical chaos. Designing, printing, and distributing new money. building a central bank, and getting everyone on board. If the rollout is botched, it could spark inflation, confusion, and even economic crisis. Rushing in without solid institutions is a recipe for disaster. The Eurozone's struggles are a cautionary tale. For the Sahel, the margin for error is razor thin. Success demands careful planning, cooperation, and a lot of patience. The risks are real, and the consequences could be severe. So, how do you actually launch a new currency? First, build the foundation, a strong independent central bank to manage the money and keep politics out. Next, set strict rules. Each country must meet economic targets before joining, to avoid dragging each other down. Then comes the design. What will the new money look like? It's a chance to create powerful symbols of unity. But printing and distributing billions in new notes and coins is a massive logistical challenge. The transition needs a clear plan. Old and new currencies will coexist for a while. Public education is key. Everyone, from city bankers to rural farmers, must understand how the new system works. Trust is everything. If people don't believe in the new currency, it will fail. Success depends as much on communication as on economics. It's a delicate dance of policy, logistics, and public confidence. Get it right, and the region could transform. Get it wrong, and the fallout could last for generations. What's at stake for ordinary people? In the best case, a stable currency means prices stop swinging wildly. Families can plan, save, and invest in their futures. For small businesses, it opens up new markets. No more losing money to exchange fees. A shopkeeper in Mali could sell to Niger or Burkina Faso as easily as to a neighbor. More opportunity, more growth, and maybe even more jobs. But if the transition goes wrong, people could lose their savings overnight. Confusion and mistrust could paralyze markets and devastate livelihoods. For most, this is a leap of faith, trading a flawed system for an uncertain future. The real test isn't in economic stats, but in daily life. Can families feed their kids, send them to school, and build a better life? That's what will decide if this experiment is a triumph or a tragedy. The stakes are highest for the most vulnerable. Their hopes and fears hang in the balance. In the end, this is a high-stakes gamble for the Sahel. It's a rejection of the old order and a bold bet on unity and self-determination. The risks are huge. Failure could deepen hardship, but the status quo isn't working either. Sometimes real change means taking a leap. The leaders are betting that building something new is better than clinging to a broken past. This is about more than money. It's about hope, identity, and the courage to imagine a different future. Whether the single currency succeeds or fails, the conversation itself is already changing the region. It's forcing people to rethink what it means to be independent and united. For the Sahel, this is a moment of possibility, and the world is watching. The next chapter is theirs to write.